With Academy Awards Week starting on Sunday, today we're going to talk about Jessica Chastain's win in The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and more specifically about the legal troubles that surrounded PTL, praise the Lord. The Bakkers were evangelists, a couple that started with a single TV station in South Carolina. And directly asked their viewers to send in money. They were very, very successful in expanding PTL and bought ultimately a satellite network, and the money kept pouring in. Among other things that they did was to create a theme park with a hotel, and for $1,000 you could buy the right to spend 3 nights every year in the hotel. The luxury and the lifestyle was, to put it mildly, off the hook. Multiple Rolls Royces, an air-conditioned doghouse, a facelift for Jim Bakker, and 2,300 acres of land, multiple luxury houses. Things started to unwind, however, when it became apparent that Jim Bakker had not been honest in soliciting the money, and the feds came in and did a full investigation. Prior to Jim Bakker's charges, the employees that were handling the money were indicted and convicted. And in fact, among those who testified against Bakker were the top administrator, Richard Dortch. He pleaded guilty to 4 counts of fraud. And brothers David Taggart and James Taggart, who were decorators and contractors, who pled guilty to tax evasion. So there already were 3 convicted felons at PTL when Jim Bakker was indicted on 8 counts of mail fraud and 15 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of conspiracy. There were ardent supporters of Jim Bakker, and notwithstanding the criminal charges against him, he had a following that the trial judge described as a little bit like Jim Jones in Jonestown. Ultimately, the jury convicted Jim Bakker on all counts. And the judge, who was known as a no-nonsense sentencer, sentenced Jim Bakker to 45 years in prison. His appeal did get the number of years reduced, but none of the convictions overturned. Tammy Faye was, throughout her life, a larger-than-life figure with a penchant for tears as part of the fundraising activities of PTL, which collapsed with the criminal convictions. Ultimately, while Jim Bakker was in prison, Tammy Faye divorced him and married Roe Messner, who was the contractor who built Heritage USA, which was a big Christian-themed amusement park. And with already 4 individuals connected with PTL in prison, sure enough, Tammy Faye's second husband was sentenced in 1996 to 27 months in federal prison for bankruptcy fraud. So as you watch The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and you see the tears, some or all of it might have to do with her choice to associate and marry criminals. John Belcher, Law Offices of John Belcher, Academy Awards Week, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, The Fall of Jim Bakker.